Bay Area history you probably have never heard of. Today I'll be discussing Playland-at-the-Beach. Around the 1880s, a whole bunch of people bought random little spots out there and opened up their own little concession stands. They had some rides, but they were privately owned. Back then it was known as Mooneyville by the Sea. By the 1890s, we get the first trolley cars that come into this area, meaning more people can get to this theme park, or I guess you'd call it like a fair. By the 1920s, the Whitner brothers, Leo and George, buy up most of the concession stands and rides out there and kind of form it into one thing known as Playland. Playland by the Beach. That's the actual official name. For example, they had this first kind of water ride. So people would get on this like line, go all the way up to the top, you get in these rafts, and they drop you down this ramp, and then they'd let the boat just go. They did have roller coasters, most famous being the Giant Dipper. Now, there is a sister to this ride in Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, except this one was twice the size. And yeah, that dude standing up right there. Yeah, they didn't really have safety harnesses. Back then, if you did something stupid, that's on you, bro. In 1947, there was a sailor that actually went on this ride, stood up, hit his head on a post, and shaboom. So obviously, roller coasters have come a long way since then. The Giant Dipper closed in the 1950s due to safety reasons. Apparently, they built this thing into the sand, which is super unsafe. In order for insurance companies to back them up, they wanted to put it in concrete, which was too expensive, so they got rid of it. Honestly, this is probably the nail in the coffin for this whole thing. But there's more. Another attraction they had was this thing called the diving bell. So they had this massive underwater tank in which they dropped this big bubble thing down below. You can even see she's holding up a leopard shark. They're obviously putting in the tank. So they drop this thing in, people would look around in the underwater area and they're like, whoa, that's cool. My mother went on this thing right before they closed the theme park. She said the tank was so dirty you couldn't really see outside. They had motor cars on tracks. They had bumper cars. Playland was super famous for having all these different little shoot spots. So you pay your 25 cents, you get like a 22 caliber rifle, literally, and you'd shoot these things. Later on, they had the world's largest portable roller coaster, which as you can see, it's just kind of nailed into the ground. Also, this is where Whitney created the famous It's It. Now, if you don't know what this is, you've probably seen them in your grocery store. They're pretty much two cookies with ice cream in the middle of it and chocolate all around them. They're bomb. And they're from the Bay Area. Other food areas, they had the restaurant Topsy's Roost. This was a famous chicken eatery place. You could either buy a chicken yourself and take it home, obviously cooked, kind of like the farmer's market, or you could have dinner at this place. Now, the cool side of it was they had a dance floor on the very bottom, and they had music, and after certain hours, it turned into a dance hall. And if you were eating in the upper floors, you could take a slide down to the dance floor and dance. Now, the negative side was the theme of this